Welcome. This module is called Reach Agreement in Multi-Party Decisions. When you think about negotiating a deal, do you envision that conversation taking place near the end of your sales cycle or closer to the beginning? Smart choice. Don't wait to negotiate. In today's B2B selling environment, if you wait until near the end of your sales cycle to negotiate, you'll find yourself in a weak position with little to negotiate other than price. Most deals of any significance involve a series of smaller agreements. You usually don't leap from a first prospect meeting to your ultimate goal. Some of those agreements are mundane, but others are pivotal, which the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines as of or relating to or constituting a pivot, a person, thing, or factor having a major or central role, function, or effect of the greatest possible importance. In this module, you'll learn how to plan and use a series of pivotal agreements throughout your selling cycle to capture maximum value. Tap Next to get started. Pivotal agreements elevate customer perception of your power and favorably change the context for negotiating the terms of a deal. Because they're pivotal, you have to get them. Pivotal agreements share these characteristics. They are specific, they create tension, so expect your customer to resist, they directly improve your outcome. When selling your solutions, has a customer ever requested any of these items from you? Check each item that a customer has requested from you. Interesting. It's easy to perceive those types of customer demands as buying signals and to feel you're advancing a deal by providing them. However, each time you agree to such a demand, you're unintentionally leaking value. In other words, instead of capturing value, you're giving it away. And all along, you're missing out on opportunities to raise your customer's perception of your value. To build your low power advantage, every time a customer makes a demand for something of value, ask for something in return. Specifically, ask for a pivotal agreement that will change the trajectory of the deal. Here's an example of what a pivotal agreement might look like. A leading software company suffered from poor closing rates and slow sales cycles, and they wanted to understand why. Consultants analyzed the company's sales process and discovered a number of pivotal agreements that top performers were executing. A critical one was getting customers to agree early in the sales process to use the selling company's contract paper rather than a contract drafted by the buyer's legal department. Without this agreement, the sales process could easily get stalled by the buyer's legal department or result in less favorable terms even for the deals that did close. Deliberate and intentional planning for successful execution of this early pivotal agreement directly led to increasing their closing rate and speeding up their sales cycle. You'll get a chance to practice how to ask for pivotal agreements later in this module. But first, tap Next to discover how to identify pivotal agreements relevant to your solutions. Step 1 is planning the pivotal agreements that will drive an opportunity in the right direction versus reacting to customer demands. Identifying pivotal agreements as part of your sales planning positions you to better control the buying process and capture value through a series of agreements versus one grand bargain at the end. There are many types of pivotal agreements. For example, a complex sale may require you take advantage of 6 to 8 pivotal agreements to get the maximum value out of the deal. To help you get started identifying pivotal agreements relevant for your solutions, Here are 5 types that are broadly used across companies and industries: access to power, access to information, proof opportunities, deal structure, and lastly, expansion opportunities. Tap next to learn more about each type of pivotal agreement. Most sales processes have a step that involves getting executive buy-in. This obviously ties into an access to power type of pivotal agreement. However, an actual pivotal agreement is significantly more than that. For example, the meetings you have with customer executives can often be perfunctory, or part of a group meeting with no specific or definable interaction between you and the executive. You get to check the senior decision maker box in your CRM, but did you really gain anything? An example of an access to power pivotal agreement would be securing a 30-minute meeting with just that executive early in the sales process to understand and confirm their objectives for the project. Customers often resist sharing information with you because they prefer driving the conversation and sharing only what's in their best interest, not yours. Because customers have no desire to give you information that will increase your leverage in a negotiation, an access to information pivotal agreement is one designed to obtain information that your customer isn't naturally inclined to share. For example, imagine you're selling a product that can help improve your customer's margins. A pivotal agreement would be getting access to the customer's margin trends over the last 3 years so you can run what-if scenarios and ROI calculations. Any information that's relevant to creating the hard, soft, or strategic returns you're looking to impact will be pivotal and can directly strengthen your ability to build a business case. Proving the efficacy of your solution can solidify many sales opportunities. In fact, proof opportunities can literally create the tipping point in your favor. However, ensuring that you structure the proof opportunity in a specific and measurable way is critical for its success. For example, just getting an agreement to do a pilot often feels like a win. However, you've probably experienced situations where you do the pilot, but the customer doesn't commit to doing it properly or measuring it properly. As a result, the pilot doesn't create any momentum for the deal, or even worse, stops it in its tracks. In contrast, a pilot that would be a proof opportunity type of pivotal agreement would include customer commitment to implement the pilot according to your best practices. This may include a defined framework for participation, for how results will be tracked, and for agreement that should the pilot prove results, that it's accepted as a commitment for a broader rollout within a preset timeframe. Customers will tell you they want better terms or pricing or service level commitments because they are special. You've heard it before. We're a Fortune 100 customer with a marquee brand that can do a lot of volume with you. They ask for special things, giving you visions of a potentially lucrative deal without making any true commitments. In these situations, a deal structure type of pivotal agreement would be obtaining contractual agreement that pricing is contingent upon the customer hitting specific volumes with clearly defined consequences should volume drop below the agreed upon level. For most business-to-business selling situations, you practice a land and expand strategy, knowing that once you get your foot in the door, you will then look to create opportunities that expand the relationship over time. For example, one way to negotiate expansion opportunities is to do quarterly business reviews with your customers. Many customers will tell you that they're willing to do these reviews, but they don't take them seriously, and almost never give you the time or the information you need to make them effective. They'll send low-level people to meet with you, and the meeting time inevitably turns into a forum for processing complaints and beating you up over minor issues. The review is no longer strategic, nor is it furthering the relationship. An expansion opportunity type of pivotal agreement would be one structured with definitive commitments designed to ensure quarterly business reviews are extremely valuable. For example, if you gain agreement that you'll do a quarterly business review with key executives to share the impact of what the partnership has accomplished in the last quarter, including agreed-upon metrics, this becomes a pivotal agreement because it elevates the opportunity for expansion. The previous list and examples of potential pivotal agreements aren't meant to be exhaustive. In fact, the first example of a pivotal agreement in this module was about getting a customer to agree to using your contract paper, which doesn't neatly fit into any of these 5 categories. When you're identifying pivotal agreements, remember that if they meet these criteria, that they're specific, observable, tension-inducing, and optimize your sales results, then they're pivotal. Your pivotal agreements will be a function of what you're selling and what agreements you can make that will change the trajectory of your deal, and you must find a way to leverage them in your sales cycle. Defining your pivotal agreements is just the first step. The next step is learning how to introduce pivotal agreements into customer conversations and to secure them for you and your company. Remember, earlier in this module, you heard that you may have been unwittingly leaking value throughout the sales process by agreeing to give things away to customers each time they ask for something. When introducing pivotal agreements, think of them as a way of exchanging value during the process instead of just giving things away. Think about the kinds of agreements that make a difference in the solutions you sell. The ones that, when they're in place, you're confident the deal will go well. With that in mind, let's now apply using pivotal agreements to one of your actual opportunities. First, select a critical deal, one that you're pushing to close this quarter, and enter it. Then, plan the next 3 pivotal agreements you need to progress that deal from its current state to your ultimate goal. When you're ready, tap the Submit button. Now, you're going to practice asking for something in return when a customer makes a demand from you. Type how you might respond to this customer demand, then tap the green light bulb to reveal a suggested response to compare. You make lots of agreements with customers, but only a few are important enough to pivot the direction of a deal. These pivotal agreements can change the trajectory of a deal from lost to won, and from unprofitable to profitable. Use what you learned in this course by planning a series of value exchanges you're willing to make throughout your selling cycle. Remember, pivotal agreements often occur early in your sales process. And most importantly, every time a customer makes a demand for something of value, ask for something in return. In case you missed them earlier, here are your tools that are available for download.